All right. We should be live, guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I've been having some technical difficulties. But we should be up and running. There's the link right there if you guys want to join the open panel. We'll be live, until my wife gets back. They went to the Goodwill and picking up some dinner. So maybe an hour. We did not get a verdict today in the Karen Reed case. All I have for you guys is I wanted to talk with you a little bit about the Brian Cohey case and go over the signs of a psychopath. We can maybe do that later. The Vance Bolter updates. That's the gunman that was on the run. Those politically motivated crimes. Assassinated a Democrat. Jari, welcome in. Paradox, J. Ray, Mark, Mustang, everybody. And then we have the Iran-Israel conflict, which seems to be escalating. Maybe we'll start with Vance Bolter. Look at this creep. Straight out of a horror movie. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, my phone tied up right now, but I think I already received that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hello, Patty. All right. And remember, if you can't hit the Cash App, please hit the thumbs up. Yeah, appreciate that, Mark. So this is inside the vehicle that he left at the scene of the crime. Oh no, that looks like a AK-47. Maybe like a Mac 90. Yeah, a bunch of AKs. That one might be an SKS right there. So it looks like they're trying to spin it that he was a Democrat, or excuse me, a Republican, according to his roommate. Wonder how long he had this roommate.
Guys, I made some choices, and you guys don't know anything about this, but I'm going to
The
be
hell?
gone for a while.
Why is there no audio?
Sorry.
Take your time.
Maybe dead shortly. So I'm
Il n'y a rien d'autre ici sur terre. All the riches of this world.
That's weird. I'm not getting any audio from my VLC player. I wonder what the hell's causing that. Could you guys actually hear that video? I'm telling you, I'm having all kinds of issues. I almost didn't even go live. I was getting so pissed. No, there's no video. I tried to play it, but I'm asking you if you heard the video. Okay, let me see what the hell's going on here. Gotta try to figure this out here. Oh, see, it's weird. So you guys can hear the audio, but I can't. Let's see. Can you guys still hear me? All right, looks like I fixed it. I just reset my sound card. All right, let's listen to Vance's neighbor. He's reading the last text message that he received from the gunman. Apparently, this is his neighbor, and they are Republicans who are pro-Trump.
guys, I made some choices, and you guys don't know anything about this, but I'm going to be gone for a while. Sorry.
Take your time.
Maybe dead shortly. So I just want to let you know I love you guys both, and I wish it had gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused.
What is he crying about? It's not like the guy was killed. Or is he crying for the victims? So you remember this guy, Vance Bolter? So recently we did a live stream called No Kings. Do you remember that? About the murder of Melissa Hortman. Are you guys following me or what? Remember, she was murdered. Well, they captured the guy. Vance Bolter. What's going on? Paradox. Welcome in. Jari, good to see you. So the video that I just showed you was his roommate. Here's some other videos that I gathered from this guy. Here, this is Vance Bolter giving an evangelical sermon, I think somewhere in Africa.
Il n'y a rien d'autre ici sur terre. All the riches of this
Toutes les
world
richesses de ce monde
can fill a heart
ne peuvent pas remplir nos cœurs.
because you were made by God.
Parce que tu as
And watch what he does with his arms. He's like, fucking funny.
été créé par Dieu.
You were made for God.
Tu as été créé pour Dieu.
Even in the heavens above,
Même dans le ciel
where
là-haut,
all the angels roam.
tous les anges là au ciel,
Some say Satan was over the head of worship.
d'autres disent que Satan était le numéro 1 de l'adoration.
He was the highest of high in the heavens,
Il était l'ange le plus élevé au ciel.
underneath God.
Je n'ai pas besoin de ça.
Was that enough?
Est-ce que ça, ce n'était pas suffisant pour lui?
Was that enough?
Est-ce que ça, ce n'était pas suffisant pour le diable?
No.
Non.
He said, I want.
No, Mark. The guy in the mask is this guy right here screaming and waving his hands in the air. The other guy was his roommate.
To be
Il
higher.
voulait devenir encore plus.
I want more.
Je voudrais plus encore.
This
If you
is
don't
the
have the
killer.
word of God,
Si tu n'as pas la parole de
you will
Dieu,
never be happy on
tu ne
this earth.
seras jamais heureux ici sur terre.
Even in the heavens above,
Même là au ciel,
you could be the highest
tu
angel.
peux être l'ange le plus élevé.
And if you're not content with the word of
Mais
God,
si tu n'es pas
I know. Yeah, Paradox. What you cooking? What's for dinner? Jari, I saw that. I thought he was talking in tongues. It was just kind of funny. Yeah, exactly, J. Ray. What we do in this life echoes in eternity, right? Here's another one.
Hello, my name is Vance Bell.
This is somewhere on Twitter. I think he did it for some job he just started. He might be like doing an introduction for himself.
Hello, my name is Vance Belter. I just go by Vance. No other names that I use. I live in Greenell, Minnesota, about an hour away from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. I'm affiliated with 2 funeral homes. I work full-time for Wolf Funeral Home, which is an intake location for about 6 funeral homes.
Oh yeah, see, he works for a funeral home as well.
And we also do all the intake for the National Cremation Society and the Neptune Society for all their cremation customers as well. So I mainly do removals at this point. So I work at Wolf full time, and then I also work for another funeral home called Metro First Call, and they also do traditional removals at nursing homes, assisted living apartments, but they also have contracts with medical examiner's office. So like one contract is the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office. So we'll do removals, which we're working with a lot of police officers and death investigators at the location where it is.
Ooh, breakfast burritos. I like to do that for dinner. You know, no wrong time to have a breakfast burrito. Belter. Here we go. Here we go. She's like, if you could pronounce it right, I would have known what you were talking about. So it's Vance, Luther, Balter. Political affiliation remains a subject of conflicting reports. I don't know. This could have been like some kind of a operation.
Decedent is found, could be a crime scene or just a natural death. And our role is to just take the decedent from that place of death to the medical examiner's office.
Kind of reminds me of Dan McCain a little bit.
And so between those two locations, I'm working about 6 days a week.
Did anybody else think of Missy Beavers when they heard about this guy? How he dressed up like a cop?
What else here? Family and pets. I have a wife and 5 kids, and we have 2 pets, German Shepherds. Fun fact about myself.
Thank you, Mark.
I've been in the food industry about 30 years, and that led to an opportunity. I was invited to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is located in Central Africa. When I was in high school, the country was called Zaire. That's a little bit more familiar with people, but it's the largest, second largest country in Africa, right in the middle in the center there, and was asked a couple years ago to go and see what I could do for ideas on helping their food supply system. Their population is about 100 million people, and they import 80% of their food
5
currently.
kids.
So some of the food companies.
And apparently his wife was found in a vehicle with a bunch of guys. There was guns. She was detained for a short period and then let go. Something's up with this shit.
Companies I worked for in the past were Farm to Fork, like Del Monte Foods and Golden Plump Poultry, where we did everything from at Del Monte, we planted the products to harvested them to process them and then shipped them out. In Golden Plump Poultry, we had our own hatcheries, grow out barns with the farmers, and then processing plants. So between those 2 companies, I have some experience with agriculture. And so over in the Democratic Republic of Congo, I had some ideas they thought were pretty promising, which the company I was working for at the time wasn't interested in doing anything in Africa. So I talked with my wife and we decided I just put in my 2-week notice.
What's up, Karen?
Just go off on our own to try to do these projects to help out in Africa. So we're doing farming and fishing projects in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And to help pay the bills, I just started working at a funeral home because the shift worked good for my schedule with the other things I was doing. And that led to some classes at DMAC, which led to this course. So just learning more about the funeral industry. And I think that covers everything. And I will.
So he kind of talks about working in the funeral industry and working hand in hand with law enforcement. So he brought that up, which was very interesting. You know, getting to kind of be on the ground floor of a murder investigation. He's going to be one of the first people they call, right? What's going on, GP? Welcome in, GP and Karen Hick. Oh, they caught him, I think, on Ring camera. Check this out. This was when he was on the run. So that looks like possibly a police vehicle. Maybe the home of a police officer. Or a vehicle that's very similar. But for whatever reason, he's breaking out the window here. If I had to guess, if it's a police vehicle, he might be trying to get his hands on a weapon. I'm not quite sure what he's doing here. They're like, over here, over here. So not really sure what he's doing over here. Let's see here. Balter was appointed to the Minnesota Governor's Workforce Development Board in 2016 by then Governor Mark Dayton, a Democrat, and reappointed in 2019 by Governor Tim Walz, also a Democrat, serving until 2023. The appointments, however, were to nonpartisan advisory board with around 60 members, many of whom are not politically connected. Some sources suggest Balter was a registered Republican and a Trump supporter. A friend, David Carlson, stated that Balter voted for Trump. That's his roommate. And maybe that's what he told his roommate, right? How long have they been roommates? How long has he been planning to do this? Could be all part of his plan. Some MK Ultra. Kathy Lee Gifford. You guys ever heard of that story?
Belter then traveled to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, in the home of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman. At approximately 3:30 a.m., Belter arrived at Representative Hortman's house in his black SUV with the police license plates. He parked in the driveway and left the emergency lights on his SUV flashing as if he was a police officer. Belter approached Representative Hortman's home, again dressed as a police officer, wearing the tactical vest and body armor and wearing that hyper-realistic mask. He was armed and carrying a flashlight.
So remember, he said working in the funeral industry, he would have access to law enforcement and investigations and things like that. So I'm wondering if over time he just kind of got his hands on equipment here and there, or if it was just kind of purchased online or something. Makes you wonder how he got all that police gear.
Before he entered the home, 2 Brooklyn Park police officers arrived at the scene. They too had been dispatched to check on Representative Hortman after learning of the shooting of Senator Hoffman. When they arrived at the scene, they saw Belter's black SUV parked in the driveway with the emergency lights flashing, and they saw Belter standing in front of the house.
Well, they're doing a press conference on it, CJK.
When Belter saw the officers get out of the car, he drew his weapon and began firing. He rushed into the house through the front door, firing into it. He repeatedly fired into the house. And when he entered, he murdered Representative Hortman and her husband, Mark. The Brooklyn Park police officers fired at Belter as he rushed into the home, but he escaped into the home and out the back.
I think they might have already, I'm pretty sure they were already
Officers
dead.
recovered
CJK.
Belter's 9mm Beretta, along with the body armor and the mask, behind the home along his path of flight when he fled on foot. They later searched Belter's car, where they found 5 more firearms, including assault-style rifles and a large quantity of ammunition. Belter also had in his car notebooks containing a list of more than 45 Minnesota state and federal elected officials.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say he was alone? Why does he have so many rifles? Doesn't make any sense. It's weird. It's almost like he was moving with a group.
Officials, including Representative Hortman. Now, Belter planned his attack carefully.
Let's go ahead and welcome in Paradox. What's up, Paradox?
Not much. How are you, man?
Wow, what's going on? What's on your mind?
Not much. How you doing?
Well, you've been keeping up with this crazy case.
No, I haven't been keeping up with much, to be honest with you. That's why I'm watching you.
Oh, okay. So you just joined to hang out and watch?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He researched his victims
Jump in anytime.
and their families. He used the internet and other tools to find their addresses and names, the names of the family members. He conducted surveillance of their homes and took notes about the location of their homes. He also prepared in other ways. He concealed himself as a police officer, outfitting his black SUV with police lights and a police license plate, wearing a black tactical vest.
Yeah, so he's planned this out for quite some time, I think. What do you think, Paradox?
Yeah, from what little I know, that's correct. Isn't he only being charged with, like, second-degree murder? Is that correct?
Let me see.
I can't recall right now. And like I said, I only had, like, the slightest bit of sliver of information here. I really can't add to anything, I don't think.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it would be definitely first-degree murder, right?
I would think so, but you know, the other case you were talking about earlier today.
Yeah, you're right. Second-degree murder with intent.
This
Isn't
guy
that-
or the last one?
Well, they have federal charges and then also state charges. So federal charges are 2 counts of murder with a firearm, 2 counts of stalking, 2 counts of firearm offenses.
Okay.
And then state charges are 2 counts of second-degree murder with intent, not premeditated.
Oh yeah, he's fucked. I mean, honestly.
How is it not premeditated if he has a list
A
of
plan?
names? And
He
he's
had
like,
a plan.
He's
And a
taking
list of
out people
names.
on that list. He's like, okay, there's one.
Right?
Oh, this isn't premeditated.
You know, but here's the thing: they can always up those charges later on.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to.
Oh, I think they will.
Yeah, maybe after a confession or something like that.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously first-degree murder, right?
I think so. It's clear as fucking day. You write down a list of people you're gonna kill, and 2 of them end up dead on that list. It seems like to me
Common sense.
Yeah. I don't mean to laugh about it. I do apologize. It's really too
It's silly
soon.
though. I mean, it is really silly though. To think
But then
about that.
they also got the federal charges too. So who's gonna try him first? Or well, we're probably not even at that point.
I'm not quite sure. Look at this shit. I feel like he didn't show up alone.
I don't know.
Like, what does he need all this shit for?
Well, you remember that mosque in New Zealand that was shot up? That dude had like 2 to 3 weapons, AR-15s on him. And he
Dude
went
has,
back
like,
out of the mosque
buckets.
and then grabbed another weapon and just comes back in. And that was a disgusting video. Don't watch it, to be honest with you.
I think I've already seen it.
Yeah, it's just like you're shooting people who have no way to fight back.
I caught it like when it had just happened, and they posted it up online, and then shortly after they took it down.
Yeah, I can't remember where they posted it, but yeah, it was there. It wasn't on YouTube. I think it was on. No, it wasn't Live Leaks. It was somewhere. Who cares?
So here's his pistol magazine. Like, this is all very strange.
That's a Glock. That looks like a Glock mag to me, doesn't it?
No. I mean,
No.
kind of looks like definitely like a 9mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Glock mag though. Maybe a 45 or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, a Glock can be either or, but yeah, that's
like a Smith & Wesson or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or 1911 maybe. It's like flat right here.
Yeah, that's Oh, it is flat there. Glocks have more of an angle, I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get it caught on nuisance details. No, that's a hell of a load of weapons, to be honest with you. He wasn't going there to fuck around.
Yeah, he really meant it, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, how could this not be first degree murder? Look at all this shit that he packed. He was sitting there packing this stuff, like thinking to himself, I'm going to do this.
Then he has the flyers, no kings, and it was on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to say he's a Trump supporter. I doubt that.
No, the no kings thing, bullshit. This honestly is probably more like an Antifa thing, and I don't mean that. And I don't want to get political on your channel, but it just seems to me that why would you have those flyers if you're a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I feel like if I had to guess, this roommate, I bet you he's only been his roommate for like a year, 6 months to a year.
That's fucking four rifles, maybe even more.
Yeah, there's 4 right here,
Okay.
and a handgun somewhere.
Yeah, apparently there's a handgun magazine.
What's all this other shit?
Why'd you find a fucking dildo in there?
Yeah, you would be looking for that.
No,
I'm
that's a lot of.
Stuck on the wheel over here. On his little Kevlar helmet, sticking off the top of his helmet. Yep, he's a Democrat.
All right. Anyways, I'm sorry I have to derail every conversation on it. I don't know why.
Hey, I'm just going with the flow here. You're the one to
Yeah.
blame.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a
I
victim
am.
here, right?
You
I'm
are
a victim.
actually.
I'm
Strike
being
2.
abused.
Anyways.
Here, I have another story because I feel like I'm running out of time. What do you guys know about this fucking nut job?
Not on me.
So let's take a look at this too. Signs of a psychopath. You know anything about psychopathy?
No, not really.
Paradox?
I do watch a lot of those. I hope you can hear me. Maybe you can't. Who knows?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so like I do watch a lot of these interrogations, and I can kind of tell, like when you're a psychopath, you'll just kind of break down, or you'll just deny everything. It's either or. But a lot of them don't give a damn what they did. They don't care.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Emotional traits: lack of empathy, inability to understand or care about feelings, often appearing cold or indifferent. Shallow emotions, limited emotional depth, may mimic emotions to manipulate, but doesn't genuinely feel them. I think that's why they call them chameleons. They just kind of look around
Yeah.
and see how everybody else is reacting.
And then you
They-
have to fit into that situation.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Lack of remorse, no regret for harmful actions, even when they hurt others. Callousness, disregard for others, suffering often, exploiting people without concern. So this guy's a classic case right here.
I do. What's the number? 970-312-4400. The cell phone?
Yes, that's a good point, J Ray. J Ray brings up a good point here. Let me go down a little bit further.
On the spectrum.
Yeah,
what you're
because
talking about?
sometimes they're misidentified, you know.
Well, I mean, that's why they're starting to find autism in more people than not.
Well, this
You
guy
know,
happens to be autistic and suffers from depression. So those 3 things each could kind of have the same symptoms, is what she's saying.
Okay.
What?
So it's hard to tell. Is he a psychopath or
Android.
is he just autistic?
So like a Verizon or something else?
Or both?
Is it like
No, it's an
Verizon?
A10E.
What?
The phone model is A10E.
Okay. Do you know who your provider is though? Like
AT&T.
Verizon, AT&T. And how did you get here?
I murdered someone.
Okay.
Like if he didn't just come out and say he murdered someone, he just kind of reminds me of the weird, annoying cousin that you run into from time to time
Right.
that you always just were suspicious about. Like you would never really think that this dude's a fucking planning to become a serial killer.
No, he has a button-up shirt. He looks normal. He has glasses on, does his hair. He doesn't look all shitty or whatever.
Yeah, he
But
just looks
neither
like your
did Ted
typical
Bundy.
dude.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer. This guy kind of
Yes,
reminds me
Jeffrey
of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, he kind
Did
of.
my job? Was you-
Didn't he keep heads and shit too in boxes?
He did weird stuff. I can't recall it all right now.
Yeah, he did
Oh no, he
experiment
ate
on
people.
animals.
Well, we can't. I don't know what we can or can't say on YouTube anymore. But he definitely did weird experiments on humans, to say the
Mhm.
least, like the Japanese did back in World War II. And then
Well, this guy did the same thing. He like
Okay.
to his victim, he like played with his insides.
Oh, that's.
But he used to do that
gross.
to animals too, apparently.
Okay, so it would be like Jeffrey Dahmer. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have a face card, we just go to the right. Yeah. You want to look at the form with me?
I know the basics, parental rights.
Yeah, that's what it is, but I gotta go over a form with you. Just make
Jared.
sure we both understand, it, okay?
Yeah.
So, you read over?
Yeah.
You want to initial next to each one, make sure you understand? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, will be used against you in court of law. You have to let it talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you during the question. If you can't afford to hire a lawyer, well,
All right, let's see. Interpersonal traits. Charismatic and persuasive, often coming across as likable or engaging initially. Well, you're definitely not a psychopath paradox.
No, I'm that marks me off the list. It took me
Especially the
years.
likable part.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying.
So you're good so far.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's see. Manipulativeness, skilled at deceiving or exploiting others for personal gain, often through lies or cunning.
I admit to my fuck ups. I mean, I just do.
I know
So
that sounds more like Jari. Very cunning.
Yeah.
Exploiting others for personal gain all the time.
Cunningless is what you said, or cunning?
Rice.
Right.
Grandiose self-worth, exaggerated sense of superiority, believing they're better than others. Reminds me of a lot of YouTubers out there.
Yeah, I think you're one, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Am I alive?
Is this thing on? Frequent and effortless lying, even when unnecessary, to control or impress. Ooh, woo la la. All right, let's continue on.
be appointed for you before the question. And you can decide to exercise these rights at any time. Talking every consent. So going over that, you want to keep talking to him?
Sure, yeah. So,
And you understand all of that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna sign right there.
sorry, I'm bad at cursive. Can I
So am I. You see?
can I use
You use whatever you want to do.
Well, don't tell them that.
Let's see. Here, use my knife. Mark's asking, who's the guy in the interview? His name's Brian Cohey. He's a 21-year-old from Grand Junction, Colorado, was convicted in February of 2023 for the gruesome murder of 69-year-old Warren Barnes, a homeless man known locally as the Reading Man. So this guy is basically your serial killer in the making. and just happened to get caught.
Yeah, that dude. I actually do know a little bit about this. This dude went behind like the bookstore or whatever and just read in his chair. Didn't really
Yep.
beg for anything, is my understanding. And this
Mhm.
motherfucker came up to him and offed him one day, which really sucks because I guess like the locals really liked him. No, not as much as you would think. I mean, he's still homeless, right?
Well, a
But
lot
like,
of them came forward and like gave statements, and they all said they liked him.
yeah, I mean the people at the bookstore did. I remember this now. Got it.
Yep. And he said he would just fantasize about killing people, and he just saw him laying there one day, so he parked his car, got out, and fucking tortured him. Did a lot of really weird shit.
Yeah, it's fucking sick to be honest with you. And this dude didn't do anything wrong to the locals at all. He did. Did he even beg for money?
No, he wasn't even really homeless. He was that, he's just kind of like a weird dude. He's like, I'm gonna sleep
Yeah.
behind here today.
Yeah, he was. Well, Jay Ray said it right. Homeless and harmless, exactly. And that's sick that people fucking get this idea that just because they're vulnerable or perceived to be, that they're gonna get away with some. I don't even know how to
Well,
say.
how do you see this guy coming though? You know what I mean, like,
I don't.
what
I
are
don't
the
know.
signs of a psychopath? We can read them a million times,
Well,
but
yeah, but we have hindsight 2020 right now.
yeah, they hide it very well.
Not just that. This dude didn't really know. What's his name that was killed? Sorry. The victim.
Oh, the victim? Yeah, he didn't know him at all.
No, he just came up to him one day and fucking said, "Hey, this is Suit."
Warren Barnes, 69-year-old Warren Barnes, the reading man.
Poor guy. I mean, 'cause that's what he did. He went back there and he read his books behind the bookstore or wherever the hell he went. Who cared? Nobody cared. Like there was chairs set out for him and stuff. That's sad. All he
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to do is read and fucking
very
sleep.
random too.
It really is.
But why? Like this guy, I mean, it happened for a reason. So he's over here fantasizing about killing. His parents found a kill kit.
Yeah.
Like multiple times.
I wish things would have ended differently, but I'll let you go on.
Oh, should I sign the date? I don't know the time.
It is 2:47 per my phone.
She sounds like a robot.
What first? And did you read those while I was reading them?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And then we should already try it.
So nonchalant.
Yeah, this is a psychopath.
Oh,
'Cause
no
he
doubt.
doesn't care. He doesn't care.
He's like, oh, I'm just cooperating. He's like, I want to cooperate with you.
As many details as you can remember.
So, because I mean, Murray going to jail for the 15 years probably.
He's laughing. He's like, I'm gonna go to jail for 15 years. And he's kind
No,
of
not in
naive.
Colorado. It's 40 fucking years here, and he'll probably get 20 at least served.
For that type of
At
murder. I
least.
thought he would definitely get like life.
You know, life without parole here is forever. But life is actually 40 here, which you can get cut down. Not to dox
J-Ray,
myself or anything, but
no, everybody knows you're from Colorado.
I know.
Well, he said he wanted to see what it felt like. That's the shit that scares me. So you got people just kind of sitting around. We're going, through the motions, through our day-to-day routine.
Hey,
And there's
Sleuth,
people who are
you want to go fishing?
with this guy now. You'll probably find my head somewhere.
Right? That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
exactly. Can't trust anybody. It's terrifying. Fishy's here.
Oh, Fishy, what up? The horny. What? I'm not.
She said homo.
Homo. Horny and then homie. Got it. Both, all three.
Horny, homo, homie. Say that 3 times. Fast.
No, thank you. What up, Fish?
I have no idea.
Because
We're at the beginning.
it's murder. I mean, I'm going
He's
to jail
laughing.
for
Okay.
20 probably, but I figure Well, I fight it.
Okay. So what's important to me is to learn as much about you and what you did and as I can.
Well,
Many
He's
details
like, yeah,
you can give
keep
me,
talking.
I drive a 2007 Ford 500.
Okay.
And I keep a small 18-inch bat in there for self-defense.
Okay.
And a large kitchen knife in the glove box, both for
Because
self-defense.
he doesn't have a wiener.
Because I don't really trust anyone. There weren't really any part of the town.
Maybe
so
that's why he's so
why I
mad,
have both.
so angry.
And,
I know. Sorry.
let's see. Yeah, it was
It's a innie.
the night of February 27th. It was a full moon. And I figured I can see so well, why not drive out? And I am in a bad state of mind at that.
It's kind of weird. He like picked a full moon.
Yeah, that is odd, isn't it?
Yeah, and they'll never tell the truth. Real psychopaths will never give you that part of it. Like they'll never give you the full truth.
No, they never do. And like you can see this in like Ted Bundy and shit. Like he never admitted to the girls he raped and killed. Like when I say girls under 18.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, but not the girls.
Yeah, because they're trying to control the way they're being perceived, I think.
Yes, exactly. I think that's right.
Like I'll leave out all the juicy details.
Right.
Part
Give
of
you
the
everything
town,
else.
so
Sorry.
that's why I have both. And let's see. Yeah, it was the night of February 27th. It was a full moon.
Full moon.
And I figured I can see.
A lot of killers too. They pick Friday the 13th, and they won't admit that. They'll say, "Oh no, it just happened to be Friday the 13th," but they know damn well that they selected that date for a specific reason.
So well, why not drive out? And I am in a bad state of mind at that time. I have major depressive disorder, so I am not thinking something positively.
Okay.
And I'm cruising around for an hour and a half.
So BTK calls that shit. He calls it stalking
I thought he called it
or
hunting.
targeting.
Okay. All right.
So he drives around until he finds his target, and then he begins
that's it.
stalking.
All right.
That's creepy.
So I fill up on gas halfway through, and I'm eventually driving underneath the bridge near the sheriff's office. You know, like how.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
He's like, I brought my own markers.
You say you have a major depressive disorder? I'm just curious what those are.
Actually, I have several.
So doesn't this remind you of Richard Allen? You remember when they asked him this question?
Yeah, I'm still having an internal debate about him specifically. I believe he did it, but I just don't when on the legalese side. I don't think he could have been convicted, but he was. So there it is.
Well, he gives a very similar answer to Richard Allen. Watch this.
And Brian, before you start, you say you have a major depressive disorder? I'm just curious what those are.
Actually, I have several. I have high-functioning Asperger's.
Okay.
I have ADHD
Uh-huh.
and major depressive disorder.
Okay.
Major depressive, see you were wondering what that last one is?
Yeah, I know what they are. I was curious, what the exact diagnosis was and who diagnosed them.
It was Brett Phillips from Lotus Counseling. He,
Brett Phillips from which counseling?
Lotus Counseling. It was, I want to say, years ago.
Okay.
And he said, looks like you have major depressive disorder. I could be wrong. He could have not formally diagnosed me, but that's what he told me I have. So that's what I go by.
Okay.
So let's just say this is the office, right? And this is the parking lot. Take a turn, and here is the bridge. That one. And it was right here.
Okay. I mean, so the bridge right here on Grand?
Yeah, like the one. I'm bad with words. Just.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm a habitual late shaker.
Me too.
At this moment, he's like shaking his leg. I do that sometimes. Let's see. Signs of a psychopath. Irresponsibility and parasitic lifestyle. There's no clear evidence of a parasitic lifestyle as Kohi worked at Safeway. So he worked part-time at Safeway. He was on his way home and he's like, I'm just going to kill this homeless guy.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Like, how does this happen? I just don't get, I don't understand it.
I don't understand. And that's a good thing. You can't understand it. That's actually a really good thing, Sleuth, honestly. Because if you were to sit here today and be like, I understand that, I'd be like, what the fuck?
What's really scary is the more I watch this guy, from time to time, I forget he's this killer. I'm like, oh shit, this is the guy that killed the homeless guy and played with his insides.
Yeah, it's so disgusting.
Yeah, he talks about it.
It's a password for your phone. They just want
It is a drawing code, can I?
Yeah. Draw it on there and I'll send them a picture.
It's like
There's
some
a code
rune.
down there and I send them a picture of the bill to see it.
It's a
You can
bind
draw it all
rune.
if you want.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You said people who have committed crimes like me, do we stay in this county jail or are we moved?
It all depends on what the judge says.
You start off here.
Okay.
So,
And there.
yeah, then you go do.
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah.
You're working to the school?
I've went to Broadway Elementary School just across from my dad's house. Then I went to
J Ray, especially when you have blood all over the side and back bumper.
Glenn Middle School.
Right.
And then Fruita Monument High School. Well, actually, before FMHS, I went to Fruita Monument H9.
Right.
Then FMHS. Then I was transferred to R5.
Oh, okay. Did you finish out at R5?
I did.
Did you?
Graduated last year.
Good for you. Okay. Do you work?
Yeah.
He's kind of thinking about whether or not he should accept the praise that she's giving him. Do you see that? This dude's creepy. He's really creepy.
Yeah, he is.
Stay in this county jail or are we moved?
When she gives him this compliment, watch how he responds.
It all depends on what the judge says.
You start off here.
Okay.
So,
And there.
yeah, then you go do.
Doop, 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 doop.
Do 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 do.
Doop, 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 doop.
I'm here. Yeah.
You're working to the school?
I've went to Broadway Elementary School just across from my dad's house. Then I went to Glenn Middle School.
Right.
And then Fruita Monument High School. Well, actually, before FMHS, I went to Fruita Monument H9.
Right.
Then FMHS. Then I was transferred to R5.
Oh, okay. Did you finish out at R5?
I did.
Did you?
Graduated last year.
Good for you. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening, J Ray. He's like part of the team now. J Ray
How old
says
is this piece
interesting.
of shit?
He's 21,
Okay.
Grand Junction, Colorado. So he's your
Yeah.
neighbor.
Oh, close, but no bananas.
Do you work?
Yeah, he's part of the team now, J Ray. You know, without me, you guys wouldn't know any of this. He's like, I'm the case expert. I was right there, man.
Not even part-time. I was going to say part-time, not even. As a bagger / courtesy clerk for Safeway, I work anywhere from 2 to 4 days a week.
Oh, okay. Which day?
The one right past the bridge near this location.
Oh, yeah, right over here. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I go up, and as I'm looking, I see a large thing wrapped in a canvas.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's a homeless person. So I grab my knife, I put on 3 layers of gloves because
Some Koberger shit right there.
Yep.
plastic gloves can betray their users because they're so thin, those vinyl gloves, by imprinting your fingerprints through. So I put on 3 on one hand.
3.
I took the knife. I pulled back the can.
I put a whole box of rubber gloves on one hand, and then I realized I was out of gloves. So now I had to do it one-handed.
And I stabbed his neck. Okay. He was panicking at first in his old man voice. He was in his 50s. I know why I call him old man. He was saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Why?" And I just kept on stabbing his neck.
And now he's fucking making fun of him.
I'm smiling.
He's like, he kept, like, let me play that
I
again.
just kept on stabbing his neck. I was his neck. What are you doing? Why? Why? He was in his 50s. I know why I call him old man. He was saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Why?"
Oh,
And I
why?
just kept on stabbing his neck.
He's just like, oh, and I just kept stabbing his neck.
Yeah, that's fucking disgusting, man. Why? That is
It's
why.
just weird. Then don't you forget that he's actually talking about committing a murder?
Right. No,
It's weird.
I haven't. This
He
is
says,
disgusting.
I'm stabbing his neck, and I'm not even thinking that he's killing a person. It's like he's explaining going grocery shopping or something.
Yeah, I just picked up 2 jugs of milk. Don't worry about it.
I got a rotisserie chicken. I
2 jugs
accidentally
of
dropped
milk.
my avocados. I stepped on my lemon, and
What
I had to
the
go back and
fuck?
get a new one. Ran
Yeah,
into an old friend. It's like, yeah, it's really strange.
it is.
Oh, yeah. This is him. I was straddled on top of him like this. Okay. And he couldn't fight back. It was actually surprisingly easy.
This fool literally jumped on the floor and showed them. Eagerly.
Barely breaking the sweat. I thought, oh, this guy, he's going to be tough. But no, it was actually surprisingly easy. And during the time
It was surprisingly easy to sneak up on a sleeping man and stab him to death.
Come
like,
on.
how easier does it get?
I don't know. You
Maybe a
tied to
baby?
fucking chair? They a baby?
Taking candy from a baby?
was growling and making animalistic noises.
Why were you doing that?
I suppose it was a frenzy.
Okay.
I was so excited, so rushed up.
Why were you doing that?
I suppose and making animalistic noises. I was growling and making animalistic noises. It was easy. And during the time I was growling and making animalistic noises.
That's
terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, man. Sorry, I just had to take a quick break there. It's like, wow.
No, that's actually terrifying.
Please, Lord, that is not the way that I want to go out, with some fucking freak standing over me growling like some weird cosplay liberal.
Well, no, he's just a fucking piece of shit.
He's fucking out of his damn mind.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Possessed,
so excited,
maybe.
so rushed up on adrenaline and everything. Like, woo! And I paused, and he said, "Why are you doing this?" And I said, "I've been wanting to do this for a long fucking time."
He takes a break and just starts having a
No,
well,
see?
now that you mention it, I've been really wanting to do this.
I've been wanting to kill people for a long time, is what he fucking just said. That's
Hold on,
just
Paradox. I got to reset this. Call right back in.
all right.
Actually, you know what? Oh, yeah. Actually, we're going to have to end it right here.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a good time to end it.
All right,
Anything
take
you want
care.
to say? Anything you want to say to the crew before you bounce?
I love you all.
All right. We love you back, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yep. Take care.
Bye. All right, guys. That's going to do it. I am all out of time. We did get the 1 hour in. We'll do this again as soon as we can. And I'll see you tomorrow for the verdict watch for Karen Reed's trial. I think we might see something within the first 3 hours. So make sure you're there. And I have a good feeling we're going to catch it, and we'll talk about it. See you guys then. Peace.